Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time, I'm Justice, and this channel is all about automobile and aviation fun. Today, we are back in Kentucky with my 1988 YJ, and it's getting warm enough to take the top off. Recently, I've been having some troubles with the clutch. I think there may be an issue, so we're gonna have to diagnose it. It's not leaking any fluid, so the reservoir is staying full, but the clutch is getting soft, and after it warms up, it's hard to get into reverse or first gear. I don't think there's anything wrong with the master cylinder. I'm worried there could be an issue with the slave cylinder, and if that's the case, I think on this transmission the slave cylinder is inside the transmission, so that could lead to a whole bunch of other issues. So keeping my fingers crossed, but first we'll get the top off, and that way we can drive it around and see what we can find out about this clutch. When you're removing the soft top, the low-hanging fruit is the doors. So we'll take the top half of the doors off, then we'll remove the rear window, we'll take the side windows out, and then we'll just peel the top back off. That's about it. All right, there you go, top's off. Only took, what, maybe like 10 minutes? So now that the top is off, we're gonna go for a ride and we're gonna test out this clutch, see what's going on. All right, as you can see, we didn't get too far. So got the Jeep out, drove it around for about 30 minutes. And while we were driving it, the clutch kept on getting softer and softer. And then it got to the point where I couldn't even shift in and out of gears. I even had to stop the Jeep at one point and put it into gear and restart the engine just to take off again. And then again, once I got the Jeep back home, I had to turn it off, put it in reverse, and then turn it back on just to get it into gear without grinding any gears. So definitely something going on with the clutch. I looked at the master slave cylinder up here at the top. So that all looks normal, good fluid levels. There's no, the firewall looks good. so it doesn't look like the brake fluid is eating into the firewall at all on the outside. And then on the inside, underneath the steering column, everything looked normal there too. Didn't look like there was any leaks. So I'm guessing that it has to be either air in the hydraulic lines or it's the slave cylinder going out. Unfortunately, on this YJ, the slave cylinder is inside the bell housing. So in order to replace it, you basically have to pull the transmission and get inside the bell housing, swap out the slave cylinder, and then put it all back together. So if there's anyone out there that has switched out your slave cylinder on an 88 YJ, I'm all ears to any advice that you have. I got underneath the vehicle and I couldn't find anywhere to bleed the lines, which was kind of weird. I don't know if it's all internal or what, but you can see the hydraulic fluid line that goes into the bell housing, but nothing coming out. And so I don't know if that's something that happened with this vehicle before I got it and something broke, or someone replaced it before and put a different part on it. But any recommendations that you all have to fix this, I'd rather do it myself than take it somewhere, but I'd also like to get some guidance before I start taking things apart. So please give this video a like, comment if you have any recommendations, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.